Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Tuesday normally means Type 2 or Standard Tuesday, but right now, for the next few weeks, we're kind of going to break it up a bit because we're nearing rotation. Not a whole lot is really going on with Standard, so I promise that we will hit up Standard super hard after Guilds of Ravnica releases. We'll talk about it a ton, but for now, we're probably going to just do some random different fun deck techs during that time, and thankfully, we got a super sweet one today. This is a modern deck, Combo Walls for Modern, and it comes from Nogaita Takaharu, who took it to a top 4 finish at a not super small Japanese tournament. I actually checked because when I saw this deck, I was like, there's no way this actually finished top 4 at a semi-big tournament, but it had like 32 players, so not a huge tournament, but it's not a scenario where it managed to top 4 a 5-player tournament or something like that. It actually beat presumably other real decks in the format and did pretty well. So this deck is super sweet, comboing off with walls, has a ton of different plans for finishing the game, and takes advantage of a sweet new M19 card, which everyone seems to want to make work, but we haven't been able to make work yet. So anyway, a quick reminder before we break down Combo Walls for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So Combo Walls, first off, we got to talk about the walls, and we are based on the mana producing walls, which are some of the most powerful walls in the format. So Overgrown Battlement, Axebane Guardian, don't forget about these two. They are the two best walls in our deck. Not only do they tap to add mana, they tap to add mana equal to the number of creatures with Defender we control, which in a wall deck where most of our creatures have Defender means that Overgrown Battlement, Axebane Guardian often tapping for 3, 4, 5, 7 mana with all the walls we get down. Wall of Roots, kind of our backup mana producing wall, doesn't go crazy like Battlement or Guardian, but adds an extra mana, which is kind of helpful, has a pretty decent body, even if it gets smaller as we add mana. So step 1, mana producing walls. Then we have our defensive walls. So just to kind of stay alive, block, these are high toughness, low cost walls. Perimeter Captain, pretty sweet because it gains us a ton of life. So if our opponent's attacking, not only are we blocking with our walls to prevent the combat damage, but whenever we block with a creature with Defender, we gain 2 life, so we're staying out of the range of burn spells and so forth. Wall of Shards, Wall of Denial, just massive flying walls. Wall of Shards, 1/8 for only 2 mana. Yes, it makes our opponent gain life. No, we don't usually care because we have some unique ways of winning the game that doesn't really require us to kill our opponent with damage, although we do kill them with damage sometimes. Wall of Denial, just big flying and shroud, so really difficult for opponents to deal with. So tons of good blocking walls. Then our last wall is Drift of Phantasm. So Drift of Phantasms, we will occasionally just cast it, but mostly it's in our deck to be like a super tutor to find whatever piece we happen to be missing for our various combos, can get an Axebane Guardian, or a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about. So as we're talking about the rest of the cards in the deck, remember, if it costs 3 mana, Drift of Phantasms can tutor it up pretty efficiently. So let's say we get a bunch of walls going. How do we actually win the game with this deck? So step 1 is we can't just beat our opponent down. We have Arcades as strategist, we have Assault Formation, so we could just make all of our walls deal damage equal to their toughness, allow them to attack with Arcades or Assault Formation, swing for massive chunks of damage in the air and kill our opponent that way. Arcades also sweet as we're playing our walls, since we're able to draw cards and draw more walls, to draw more cards, to draw more walls, so it just kind of spirals out of control. Assault Formation can also pump our team, which is a nice benefit, so we can't just attack our opponent to death. We also could just go super infinite with Staff of Domination. So Staff of Domination does a ton of different things. Basically, 3 mana artifact, you can pay 1, untap it, pay 2 to gain a life, pay 3 to untap a creature, 4 to tap a creature, 5 to draw a card. So if we can get down Overgrown Battlements and Axebane Guardians with enough mana that we can pay 3 to untap the Battlement or Axebane Guardian, and at least 1 mana left over to untap the Staff of Domination, which means we need 5 mana from one of our creatures, we just literally go go infinite with mana. So Staff allows us to untap the Overgrown Battlement. Let's say we tap it for 5 mana. We pay 3, untap the Overgrown Battlement, pay 1 to untap Staff. That's 4 mana, so we got 1 left over. So we do it again, gain 1 mana, do it again, gain 1 mana. And because Staff is Staff, that also means we can draw our entire deck, because eventually with our infinite mana, we can start paying 5 to draw a card. We can tap down all of our opponent's creatures if we need to. We can gain infinite life with the second ability. So if we can get one of our walls to tap for 5 mana and a Staff and Domination, we should be able to make that into us winning the game. Making infinite mana, drawing our entire deck, eventually killing our opponent. The next plan for killing our opponent doesn't need damage, doesn't go infinite. It's Phenax, God of Deception. So Phenax, the weird Dimir god, basically makes it so all of our creatures can tap and mill a player equal to their toughness. And we have a ton of very high toughness creatures. We have like 8 powered walls in the air, 4 power walls that are making us mana. So in theory, we play Phenax and we just kill our opponent very quickly. We mill like 20 cards, untap, mill like 20 more cards, and that's not even including the ability to potentially untap our creatures with Staff of Domination. So if we're not going to get there with damage, we don't find our Arcades Assault Formation, we just find our Phenax, mill our opponent out at lightning speed, and win the game that way. We also have, for some reason, which I'm not 100% sure why, because it's not really wall-based, infinite life, infinitely big creature combo of Spike Feeder and Archangel of Thune. So the one reason this kind of makes sense is we can tutor up Spike Feeder with Drift of Phantasms, and eventually we will draw our entire deck. We got Chords of Calling and so forth, but Spike Feeder Archangel of Thune goes infinite with life. We're able to remove a counter from Spike Feeder, which gains us a life, which triggers Archangel of Thune, which puts a counter on all of our creatures, so it replaces the counter on Spike Feeder. So we remove that counter, gain some life, counters on everything, remove the counter, gain some life, counters on everything. The end result is all of our creatures are infinitely big. Our Angel's infinitely big, we have infinite life, and either our opponent just can't kill us because we have infinite life, or hopefully we just swing with the massive Angel, maybe some massive walls as well, and kill our opponent that way. Eternal Witness, just for value, tutor it up with our Drift of Phantasms, get a piece back from the graveyard. Otherwise, Chord of Calling, Collected Company kind of hold everything together. Chord of Calling can get our more expensive stuff, our Phenax, our Archangel of Thune, our Arcades. Collected Company hits all of our walls, so it's a great way to get 2 walls on the battlefield, get our mana producing walls out there for the combo. Otherwise, our final 2 tutor targets, a Snaring Bridge to stay alive, Beast Within, just a catch-all removal spell that happens to be 3 mana for Drift of Phantasms, can get a Tron Land, can get a Planeswalker, can get an annoying creature, whatever we need to kill. In the mana base, Cavern of Souls, I guess we're naming Wall? I don't know, I guess it's just to force through whatever our most important combo piece is. We don't have a very uniform creature type in this deck, so I'm assuming you just name God if you need Phenax to resolve, name Angel if you need Archangel to resolve, maybe name a random wall type, defender type if you need that. Ghost Quarter for more ways to deal with Tron, some fetch lands, some shock lands, some basic lands. In the sideboard, we are heavily focused on beating combo. In the main deck, we assume we can kind of stay alive by blocking with our walls, gaining some life, so Leyline of Sanctity shuts down some combos, protects us from discard. Worship, really good with a bunch of big shroudy walls on the battlefield. If our opponent doesn't have a very specific answer, really hard for some decks to kill us with Worship on the battlefield. Damping Sphere for combo decks like Storm and KCI and Tron lands. Eidolon of Rhetoric also for Storm. Negate's kind of a catch-all. Scavenging Ooze, rest in peace to deal with graveyards. Beast Within for more removal, can also hit lands if we need to. Krosan Grip, uncounterable artifact and enchantment hate. Another bridge for creature matchups. And that is combo walls for Modern. And that's better Instant Deck for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.